In the midst, as we wait for the roster changes to commence, for the roster changes to start to go down, I thought, I was sitting in my room, obviously today, in this area, once I got back from class, and I'm having a hard time with this, hold on. So like I said, I was contemplating, what video should I make today? Like, what's something, that I can make today? Like I said, waiting for roster changes to start to go down so I can start making those videos. What should I really make for today? And I thought of an idea that I wanted to bring you guys today, which I'll get to in here in just a second, but I want to point out something in the Call of Duty scene to you that might not be as prevalent as some people think, and this is kind of like an interesting thing to me that I want to bring up. In some cases that I think we do have a little bit of a gap where I think that this possible idea that I have could fit into what we have already. So as it stands, the Call of Duty World League will be starting up very shortly. I believe it's like the 19th, I think is the exact date. So a little over 2 weeks before the Call of Duty World League starts to begin and the 12 teams in the Call of Duty World League start to compete, composed of 48 players. 48 pro players is what they consider them. It kind of annoys me that we have the Call of Duty World League Pro Division and they're known as pros, but like the challenge teams are all known as amateurs. Calling Merc, calling Study, calling Apathy, calling, whatever players that we previously had who didn't make it into the league, calling them amateurs to me just does not seem right. I don't think they're amateurs. I'm never gonna say, oh, look at these, Study's the top amateur player right now. Like, no, I'm never gonna think that. To be completely honest with you, I'm not going to fall into that range no matter what happens. I'm never gonna say that Merc is an amateur player. So on and so forth with the guys that I mentioned, the guys who previously have not been in the Call of Duty World League, and maybe even aren't in the Call of Duty World League right now. However, 48 players, 12 teams, 48 players, 12 times 4 equals 48. Very, very basic arithmetic, math. That's not actually arithmetic, it's actually multiplication. This is the second season of 2, meaning that there's only 2 seasons this year, and this is the second one. This is the, in essence, final season that we're going to have for the Call of Duty World League for Black Ops 3 in general. That's something to keep in mind as well, because we're not going to have the Team Liquids, forming right now in the league. We're not going to see teams, we'll try to get in next season, because no, there's not another season to build up to. There's not like this preparation that we're building up for to possibly get to next season, and to me that's a massive gap. That's why we're seeing pro players like Merc, pro players like Burnsup, pro players like Sharp, which I think Sharp is a little bit of a different reason. I think he's kind of just tired of playing. But Merc and, Burnsup, and I think I've already even heard people say Perplex is considering it, maybe even some other players who I haven't mentioned that I don't know of yet, are considering retiring because there is really no reason for them to be playing if they're not in the Call of Duty World League. Now, granted, Champs is coming up. Fantastic. That's great. $1.6 million prize pool, 1.8. I honestly don't remember. That's okay, though. Moving forward, that's not till the end of the year, meaning that they can do whatever they want. There's really, like I said, there's no really reason. I mean, you're not going to continue to make money off of, maybe streaming. That's a possible opportunity. Maybe YouTube. But not every pro player is destined to be a content creator. That's the sad thing about some esports, is because a lot of the time, if you're not a constantly, rapidly growing, winning constant tournaments all the time, and due to the lack of lands that we've had this year, it's probably a very high total. But if you're not a constant streamer, if you're not a constant player who likes to stream or even showcase his stuff, you can't really make a living off of this unless you are consistently destroying in a league. For example, maybe, okay, I'm not using this guy as an example, but in some cases like Enable, for instance, Enable's a fantastic player, plays for FaZe, he's on a great organization, probably gets paid to be on that organization. He doesn't stream, at least that I know of. I don't think he makes YouTube videos that I know of. But he's able to make a career off of this because he is constantly placing well. He's in the Call of Duty World League. That's a perfect example of a player who can do that. But you think of everyone else who's not in his position, maybe even some players who are in the Call of Duty World League but can't really make much of a living after that, which they're pretty well off in some cases. But still, it's moving forward though. There are so many players, like I said, for even some of these pros who are considering retiring or even trying to get jobs. I know Burnsup has mentioned this on Twitter, and I actually watched his video today. Some of his, stuff regarding competitive is a little bit different. I'll let you guys watch his video if you'd like to. But in some cases, he's considering getting a different job because there's nothing to really hold you over into the next season. I think as far as Black Ops, as far as Call of Duty has progressed itself, I've come up with an idea where I think, and this is just a very early stages plan. This is not like, oh, this is Landon's plan that he's totally drawn up and thought of this for hours. I literally thought of it 30 minutes ago and I just wrote it down, made a little short graphic, which I hope, kind of illustrates it a little bit better. With this idea, though, I think it could stem off in a number of different directions, and maybe in some cases, we can kind of incorporate it into the Call of Duty World League. Now, it's not supposed to be a part of the Call of Duty World League. This is in no way a Call of Duty World League-esque type of thing. It's a lot less, I guess it's not as formative, it's not as formal as what a Call of Duty World League would be. No pun intended with formal. But it's a little more relaxed, I guess you could say, for certain teams. Now, I'm going to introduce this to you guys. I don't really have a name for it by any means, but just keep an open mind about this, okay? Keep an open mind about this. So, With this, it's similar to what would be a ladder. It's basically a ladder system that also has different divisions in it. This entire thing has to incorporate not a massive company, but a company that's willing to get in the Call of Duty esports, whether it's ESL, whether it's Treyarch who wants to put this on, or Activision, excuse me, whoever wants to put this on. This is an idea to where I thought of it, where we would have to have someone step in, whoever it would be, and to make this kind of thing happen. So my idea, this is exactly it. We have 4 different divisions, maybe 5, just a division system, a ladder system, in which amateur players, pro players, any player, anyone who's over the age of 18, because this is my goal, is for you to make a lot of money off of this. So keep this in mind, and maybe you even have it for different locations. Like I said, this is similar to league play in some cases, but you're getting paid. All right, keep this in mind, okay? So there's different levels. So I'll go and show you guys the graphic on screen that I have right here. There's a bronze division, a silver division, a gold division, and a diamond division. How this basically works is that throughout, and this is just like an early plans idea. Like I said, I want to keep this in mind. I don't want anyone to be like, oh my gosh, this is stupid. Why didn't you not think this through? I didn't think it through. This is just like a very early stages idea. Okay, like I said, this is prefacing this. Okay, so essentially this is like a ladder system, meaning that every week you will play a number of different matches versus a number of different teams. So everyone starts off in bronze division. No matter what, you start off in bronze division. There could be different seasons. I don't know. That's just, maybe for every time the Call of Duty World League restarts, then this maybe restarts as well. This, in my mind, like this specific idea also includes pro players who are in the Call of Duty World League division. Now, can that obviously not happen? Yeah, I mean, like, if this plan does work, okay, this is saying that it would work, and I doubt that people would take this as an idea. But if it happens, in my eyes, I did have Call of Duty World League players involved with this. Now just keep it over my mind. We'll move forward. I keep saying that, so I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna say my plan. We're gonna move on with it. It's a bronze division, silver division, gold division, diamond division. There can be 5, 4, 6, whoever, however many you want to have. Bronze division is where you start off. Anyone can play in this. Anyone can play in this idea that I have. In a sense, like I said, this is a ladder system. You play only so many matches per week, only so many. You can't play, until the sun comes up. You can't play for 12 straight hours and level all the way up to gold division. This is a weekly thing. This is a weekly thing where you slowly but surely progress up, similar to what Arena is in some cases. It's kind of similar to Arena. Like I said, you constantly level up, and your ability is to try to elevate your team that you've created in this specific website, on this specific place, however it works. And like I said, you kind of like rise up a little bit. You rise up to a certain point where you're also making money off of this. Now, I don't know how the money system would work exactly, and I'm not worried about that for right now. This is, like I said, this is just early. So everyone starts off in bronze division. You win so many matches, however many matches that decides, you move up to a silver division. You start losing some silver division teams, to some silver division squads. You start to fall down a little bit. Say you start to be at the top of the silver division, you're beating a lot of teams, and I don't know how long this would take, how many weeks this would take. I'm thinking maybe around a month in every division, so it's constantly a grind to try to do. And then you move up to the gold division. Gold divisions is where, fairly high division. It's mixed with pros and top amateur players. This is where you're going to see maybe a couple of the pro teams start to be at if they haven't played as much or as often. And then you also can possibly move up to the diamond division. This is only so many teams can reside here at one time. Now, I don't know how many teams that would be. Is it 12? Is it 10? Is it 8? I don't know. But this division is where the top teams are. I'm thinking Optics here. I'm thinking Rises here. I'm thinking FaZe is here. Whatever squads come that can possibly, hang up with them, maybe even Complexity, maybe even Elevate, so on and so forth. These are the teams are going to be most of the time. Now, they have to level up to this point. They can't just, automatically get a spot. They have to kind of play through this. But my mind behind this, and the reason why you're asking, Lando, why would you even incorporate something like this? Why is this really necessary? Is the fact that the Call of Duty World League is fantastic. I like the Call of Duty World League. I like the idea of it. I think it has an incredible, awesome prize pool. But it lasts for 2 days out of the week. However, these matches that you would play every so often, how many days a week would you play them? I don't know, thinking 2, maybe 3. And maybe you play like 2 matches, 3 matches a night. Players can stream these matches. Would love, in some cases, for casters to get an opportunity like myself. I kind of had myself in mind when I was thinking about casting and stuff like that. Have some casters start to cast over these matches every night where you get, a couple of matchups. The pro players obviously have to agree if they're playing in these games to let you stream over them so that they are constantly kind of going up, up, and up. But in some cases, this is not meant to be like all-around broadcast. This is meant to be like a kind of a casual type of ladder system where you're constantly moving up. My idea behind this is that there's a reason behind wanting to play in this league, regardless of just money. The fact is that so many teams out of this division, maybe you make it to Diamond Division, or like you take the top pro teams and you get them out of there who's already in the Call of Duty World League, and then you have a certain tournament that resides to possibly get a couple of those spots from this particular league into Call of Duty Championships. Automatically, that you've got teams interested. You've got teams who are like, okay, like I wasn't taking this seriously before, but now I am. I'm taking this absolutely seriously. So, and the way that you do move up in these divisions, that you beat certain teams, you're at the top of the silver division, you go on, you face the gold division, you're guaranteed to be in that specific division for at least a week or so, or something like that. Like I said, I don't know the exact specifics, but it's very, very early on that I'm thinking this idea. Only so many teams can reside in the diamond division at one time. The lowest team starts to drop off, the gold division teams start to rise forward. Maybe there's a certain matchup that you play to decide your fate to go in the next one, but just in general, thinking this idea, looking at it from an outside perspective, to me, this provides a number of different things. It makes amateur players have something to fight for, because there is nothing else besides the Call of Duty World League to play in. There are certain tournaments, like I said, you can play online tournaments. There are certain amateur leagues that you can play in. I've been a part of the Perfect Alliance League, but that's not enough money. There's not a whole lot of motivation behind that to want to get to another level, because, I mean, like I said, you're playing matches that are happening. That's fantastic. That's great. You have an opportunity to win some money, but it's not at the level of money to where you can make a living off of it, and there's not a whole lot of motivation behind it, because, granted, yeah, I'm playing in a Perfect Alliance match, which is fantastic. I'm not taking anything away from that. But what is that really building up in your career? Because, yeah, you're winning some matches, you're getting your shot warm, you're being able to play a little bit. But this, to me, gives an opportunity to amateur players. This gives an opportunity to the average Joe who wants to get on and play. And he's not going to be rewarded for playing only for a couple days, and he's going to rank up. Over time, you're going to start to not forfeit matches, but like I said, there's a certain system that you're going to play against where you're playing against a certain team where you constantly rise above. And maybe this can only be limited to top amateur teams. Maybe this can't be open to the public. I don't know exactly. But I think it would be a really, really cool idea to, like, this to me isn't supposed to be taken as seriously, like I said, as the Call of Duty World League. It's more relaxed. Like I said, teams are playing this, and you can also, I mean, you can even post this and say, like, what division are you in right now, man? Oh, I'm in gold division. I'm trying to get to, I'm trying to get to level 5. Or, like I said, I just label these as, a particular thing. You can label whenever you want to, and you can have so much in number. But I think something like this, just an idea in general, being as lame as I could possibly be with this, just in general, we need something else in the Call of Duty World League to keep people interested in Call of Duty to want to play. Because obviously the switch from the PS4 or the Xbox One to the PS4 really hurt the amateur scene. Because a lot of people are playing Xbox One, not everyone, including people who are probably watching this right now, no one has, or at least most people, don't have a spare, $400 to $500 laying around, for the PS4 cost, for the games being $60 costing, or wherever you find it, if you find it on sale, and also for PlayStation Network to be playing on, to pay for your online system and for your ability to play multiplayer online. Not everyone has that amount of money. However, if you do have that amount of money, at least you can possibly pay that off. Or maybe there's an opportunity for you to do something. Or maybe there's a week, every so often, maybe like a couple times a month, or maybe like one time a month, there's certain matches that mean even more to where you win a certain amount of money. Or maybe there's online tournaments that are held regarding these certain divisions to where, if you win this tournament or you play so high in this tournament, then you can raise it to the next division. This is just a very, very simple idea, and I totally understand that, and I totally want everyone to know that this is not an idea that, like I said, that Landon has came up with, and he thinks that this is like the most foolproof thing ever. I'm saying, in general, this isn't a small idea that I've came up with that I think anyone could have came up with. But in general, there needs to be something else in the Call of Duty World League, at least from the NA side of things, to keep players interested, to keep them wanting to play in the next season. Because if you're not in the Call of Duty World League, what are you fighting for at this point? What are you fighting for at this point? You're not going to be winning enough money in 8s. You're not going to be winning enough money in S&D tournaments, unless you're like TJ Halley or someone like that, who happens to win every single tournament. But you get what I'm saying here, though. I think, just in general, like I said, this is a very basic idea. This is not something that I'm going to stand by and say I'm going to fight for this thing to happen. I'm just saying we need something else, and I don't know how that's going to happen. I want to know your guys' opinions down in the comments. If you guys have any ideas as well, feel free to send them my way. And if you guys think this is a good idea, feel free to share it if you'd like. I would really appreciate that. And like I said, if you guys did enjoy the video, feel free to leave a like. If you guys have any ideas around this to make this system better, or if you just didn't like it, that's totally fine. I just would like something else besides the Call of Duty World League to introduce, and this was just a simple idea that I thought that I could come up with. Like I said, this would be all played online. I'm not having this, at least in my eyes, I'm not planning, if I was the person behind this, I'm not planning to have this on LAN. This is just a fun online type of way where amateur players can come, maybe even top amateur players can play, and play against the pros, play against certain things, and even win money from it. This could be fun for the players to finally be able to stream high contested matches that aren't just scrims, that aren't just 8s here and there. So feel free to let me know, guys, like I said, what your thoughts are like this in the comments, or at least an idea that you possibly have besides the fact of just having the Call of Duty World League, because there really isn't that much beside it if you're not in the regular season. So like I said, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, and I will see you guys all later. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and like I said, I'll see you guys in another video. Peace out.